Hi guys, welcome back to AG3 West Talk. I'm Steven, also known as Silver Kizo, and I'm with Erickson, also known as Zero, and Michael, also known as Kansai. And today we're gonna discuss about our first set review, which is Azur Lane. And before we get into the video, do subscribe to our channel. It's a great way to support our channel with just a click of a button, and yeah, we really appreciate if you do. Alright, let's jump into the content. First, we will see the what kind of deck or archetype and what their strength of each archetype, which will we discuss later on. And yeah, so Erickson, what do you think about Azur Lane's archetype? How many are there?
Well, first thing off, we don't have that much kind of choices for the climax type in the Azur Lane. Like they cut off like Queen climaxes, Bird, or we don't even have book climaxes here. So we are just going to be asking about these five type of climaxes. There are choice, are hands, get, and of course standby. Going the first one, choice. Well, we do have several types of cards that we can discuss here, but what I want to highlight here is the level 1 climax combo Belfast. It's it's a 6k on your own turn. It has the climax synergy that can add one of your top deck when this card attack, and the final effect is what amazed me. It can plus of, when your opponent turn, when your opponent front attack this card, you can pay one and you can bounce two of your field, so they can reverse you, and you get your own card back. That's why I think what makes me about this Belfast. About the next archetype is Gold Bar. What do you think, Michael?
Oh yeah, so yeah, the gold bar one. I forgot the name for the card. What is this? Ericsson? Is it
I think
Zuikaku and Shokaku right there?
yes, of course,
Yeah.
it's
So
true.
the one that we featured here is that the one that has a similar effect to Kanata, I think, right? So when you use the gold bar synergy, you will salvage two cards and you put one card to hand and one to stock, right?
Yeah, it's basically Canada at home, right?
Yeah, it's very similar effect to Kanata.
Yeah, and for the Zuikaku, the white-haired one, or is it Shokaku? I don't really know. So, but that one has the effect to discard one and summon the other one, right?
Yes.
So you can actually have two level twos by one stock and one hand.
Don't
So yeah,
forget, don't forget they can also switch out in the opponent attack phase. So you can actually save one of them if you want, and
mm,
you can get another multiple synergy by your next turn.
oh, but if I remember that the card also has a demerit, right, for the synergy. If like Kanata, you need to be like fulfilled, right? So
Yes.
like yeah, for this one, I think what's the demerit for it? I don't really remember. I think you need to have each other to do the synergy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I guess kind of a demerit, but uh, if compared to Kanata, I think this is pretty much better.
Yeah, it's still fine.
Agree.
It's
Yeah.
still fine. It's easy
Okay.
to resolve anyway.
So yeah, I think we can go discuss about the next card. I think the Punch one, right? The New Jersey. This is I think one of the most sought by most people, right? Because of the sign card.
Yes,
The
Yes.
art is
it's very
very
tempting.
good.
Yes,
Very good. Ah.
it's very
Yeah, the
tempting,
art
you
is.
know. Yeah,
And also for the effect, right? If I remember, it's pay one, shoot X, and where X is equal to the number of New Jersey on the field. So if you
Correct.
actually put three New Jersey, so it's basically pay one, shoot three. So yeah, pretty good.
yeah, it's
And
simple.
the
Uh,
deck also have, and you must also remember that the deck also have resonance with this New Jersey card. You can there are several resonances in there are brainstorm, there are also soccer and artists. You can like discard or discard and do something.
Mm.
It also synergies really well to the set really.
Yeah, so the New Jersey basically have its own deck, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
It runs
the
its
deck
own
dedicated.
engine. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It has the dedicated engine. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, let's move up to the next
The next,
one.
okay, the next one should be the gate. It's well, we call this Kurumi at home, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
We
Definitely.
don't
when the
really.
yeah, when the card
Yeah.
first refilled, it's I think if compared to Kurumi, Kurumi has three effects, right? On synergy, it can stock swap, return three cards, and then
Shoot three.
you can discard two to shoot three, right?
Yes.
And for this card, when you synergy with the gate, you can choose up to two effect. You choose one from two. The one is shuffle three, so it's similar to Kurumi on that one, and the other one is kind of better. Discard two to shoot four, right?
No, it
Oh,
actually pay to stock to
oh,
shot 4.
oh, pay two to shoot four. So yeah, so the part where so it's similar to Kurumi is where it shots and it returns a card from your opponent's waiting room to the deck and shuffle, but
Mm.
it doesn't really have the stock soft, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Indeed.
yeah, so we call it Kurumi at home.
Yeah, but I
And
yeah
the last
do not the this card is quite different between Kurumi, right? Because basically in Dead Life you can resolve the Kurumi effect in level 2 plays. They basically can stand by and it can basically stock swap you from level 2. But this one, it cannot do that because it has the downside, which is experience 8, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
if you actually put this card on standby and you actually stand by it on level 2, you can't actually make it work because on level 2 you only have experience maybe maximum of 6, right?
Yes, that's why this
Yeah.
card
yes,
is
up
less
to 6.
better than Kurumi. Yeah. All right. Next one is standby.
Well, the standby one is pretty much like the other kind of standby deck. When you summon her with her own climaxes, you can pay one, sack her climax, and restand.
Oh, so it's like a level 2 attacker, but actually no, it's like a level 3 attacker on Gochusa, right? Where you
Indeed.
when you pay one and sack the climax and you reset, you can stand the card and have it attack.
It also has the global. I think 100.
1-5.
I think 1.5
Yeah,
trip
global 1-5.
for standby deck in general. The deck actually need the power, and if you can actually go multiple lane of cross pay, yeah, you actually have the advantage. I think.
Oh, but I think it's a bit better than the Gochusa one. I think it's more similar to the one that's on Lovelift Superstar, if I remember. It's the similar standby card one, where you pay one sec
Ah,
and stand. If and on the Gochusa one, after you stand the card, you get all +1 soul, right?
Yeah.
But
good.
for this one, it's similar to the Superstar one because after you sack the climax and you stand the level 3, all of your character gains ability to top deck your opponent when reversed, right? So
Mm.
Yes,
actually, it's pretty
It's
good
yeah, it's
to deal damage. Yeah, to deal damage.
yeah, it
and to
also
stack your
play
opponent.
it's also play rounds against encore kind of cards. So you just basically top decks encore cards, which is quite
Yeah, true, true.
common right in the current GP meta right now.
You can actually like top deck those level 2 Ninos where
Yes,
they just
yes.
encore hand, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, correct.
I think that is all for the fileable archetype in the Azur Lane. So what's next, Steven?
Okay, now we will be talking about each of the deck archetypes and their deck list, and you guys will be helping me on giving me some explanation here because yeah, I don't actually have the knowledge full on Azur Lane currently. So what do you think about this? This is standby, correct? Yeah, standby.
Yeah, it is standby. So yeah, from here on, I will actually explain a bit. So this is actually search around for a look around the Weiss at Weiss_RT, where the website where the username for the Twitter where they retweeted the Weiss Schwarz decks, right? They retweeted the winner deck from the Japan card shop. So yeah, from what I look around the decks, right? We will be discussing some of the decks here. So this is one of the decks, the 8 standby one. I think the synergy that they use is the level 2 and the level 3 ones. The level 3 is the one that we featured here, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, graphically.
Yeah. For the level 2, what's the synergy for it, Erickson?
It's actually similar to Nino. When you summon her by her own climaxes, it can restand
Or
it
restand
on its
the
own.
level 2, right?
Yes,
So yeah,
Basically,
it's
that's the same thing
basically
as Ninos.
that's
yeah,
basically
I
the
think
the same
yeah,
thing.
they just use the standby to just restand the level 2 or level 3 that you want to summon and just attack 3 times with it from the start, right?
Indeed.
Because I guess most standby decks now do that. From older standby decks, we just standby and put them on back row, right? Yeah,
Yeah, we wait
I
for
guess
the next
most
turn to start attacking with the standby targets. Yeah, this is called
standby
modern.
nowadays.
Yeah, it's called modern
Yeah,
standby nowadays.
yeah. And from what we see here, I guess the level ones that they use is the one that is similar to the Gochusa effect, right? Where you actually, when your character get front attacked, you can sack them and get +1/5 here.
Okay.
Really
Yeah,
similar to the Rize Gochusa. It has 6k attack, I think. And
yeah.
yes, it was a field counter for 1/5.
Mm. And I think the power for the level one is pretty high. I think experience 2 and the power is 6,000, right?
Yeah.
Yes, on its own.
Yeah. Yeah, on its own it's 6,000. So if you actually put 2 of them and one of the standby, the level 2 standby, you actually have a pretty strong lineup on level 1.
But what
And they
about
actually,
the lower level? We always talk about the higher one, the level 2, the level 3. What about the level 0?
I think for the level 0, they use that for that one that looks like the rabbit one. Yeah, that one
Fluffy?
I think
Okay.
it's called Luffy, right? Yeah. Yeah, Luffy is we call it the Akatsuki on waiting room, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it's actually one of the best right now because I think the effect is when it's come to play and you have other ships straight on the field, it gets plus 2k power, right? So it's 3,500.
It's
I
5
see.
on counter.
Yeah, and Katsuki is really good on standby decks where you can, when it's put to waiting room, you can discard one, scry 4, and add one level 1 or higher card. So you can have waiting rooms to actually utilize your standby. Yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, I guess most standby decks will use 4 of them.
It's also a
Uh,
free meal. It's also a free meal.
Yeah.
You can like like
Discarding level 2 to
yes,
find targets for the level 1 play.
yes, you can
yeah,
find
yeah.
yeah. You can find
And you
more target from your hand.
Yeah, it's basically
yeah, you
a
can get more
free.
target.
Yeah, it's basically a free consistency card. So yeah, Akatsuki nowadays one of the staples in Weiss Schwarz right now.
Yeah. And then for the one beside it that this deck brings for copy of is, I think the name is Cleveland. That card is the effect is come in play Ricky key from waiting room. So when you put it on play, you take one ship a girl card from your waiting room and put it on the bottom of clock, right? So it's actually what do you call it? I think
I just call it fixer. Like you can take anything to your clock. It can fix your color. It can fix your experience. So I just call it fixer nowadays.
yeah. When you actually put the card the waiting room to clock, you search one, and yeah, it's a fixers for the experience for the Azur Lane most decks. I think Azur Lane deck is actually utilizes on experience too, right? So yeah, the Cleveland is really good, and it has the second effect of start attack phase or on climax phase. I don't really remember. It reveals your top deck, right? so you can actually know
Your
how to
first
attack.
trigger.
Yeah, how your attack path can maybe direct first, or you can front first if you have trigger on your top deck. And if you refill level 2 or higher, you get all your card get plus 500 attack, and it may be a turning point where you actually need that 500 power to reverse your opponent. It's really good.
Yeah, either way,
It works on the back row too.
hmm,
Mm,
either way, it's just gives you more option to which to attack first because yeah, it reveals the top deck before the attack phase, right? So it's very
yeah,
important and yeah, very good addition to the card.
yeah, Ricky Fixer is really good on
Hmm.
this. I guess we can actually move on to the next deck so we can compare
All right, let's
what
go to the next one.
yeah, we can compare for the deck. Yeah.
Ah, this is
Uh,
the same one. This is
yeah, this is
standby.
also another at standby that actually won one of the Japanese card shop tournament. So yeah, we can actually see here that the deck actually for Luffy and Cleveland too.
Yes,
Because
Yeah.
like yeah,
like I said, they're basically I think they're the staple of the sets.
yeah, because yeah, especially for at standby, Luffy is yeah,
Yeah, of course.
Akatsuki being Akatsuki, and yeah,
Yeah, you need them.
I guess most decks now brings Ricky because Ricky actually just pay one stock and you take just one damage, or for the early game it doesn't really matter right nowadays for search one, right?
Mm, it gives
Mhm.
consistency.
Yeah, so I guess we can actually look on what's the difference for the deck before and the deck now. I think we can see that the deck before has the 2 off and this deck has 3 off. I think the right one beside the Luffy.
Oh, this one,
What's it?
Unicorn.
the
Yeah,
Unicorn.
unicorn.
Yes.
yeah. I think the unicorn one. I think it's brainstorm, right? Yeah. So yeah, the brainstorm is real. I guess yeah, most decks brings 2 to 3 brainstorms. So yeah, the unicorn actually have a unique effect too. The second effect of the unicorn is where if you don't brainstorm on that turn, you can tap unicorn, pay 3 and discard one. Is it discard anything or
Anything.
discard anything, right? Discard anything, tap the unicorn. You can actually shoot one and heal one, and you can
Really good.
you can use it from the early stages and especially in standby where you actually don't use the stock, right?
You do have access most of the
Yeah.
time.
Usually you have access, so unicorn is especially good, especially when you actually triggers like 2 or 3 climaxes and just pay 3 lah.
Yeah, so you
Yeah, and
can
it
get away
shoot
from.
one and no heal.
Yep,
Life steal
I
Okay.
see.
because it actually shoot your opponent and heal
Heal
you.
one. I see. I see. All
Yeah,
right.
it's kind of like a life steal.
Yeah.
So in this list, I do see Belfast, and
Ah,
but
yeah.
but I don't see her climax. Her climax was choice.
Oh, this
What do
one.
you think, Michael? Bringing
Ah,
Belfast without her climax. Is
mm,
it really good here?
that is actually really interesting. I also just noticed the level 1 lineup is yellow, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
the Belfast one. Yeah, I guess it's because of the third effect of the Belfast that you mentioned, right? Because when your opponent actually front attack Belfast, you can pay 1, discard 1, bounce her, and other cards that you want to bounce. So it's basically you have 2 cards later on, right?
Well, it does maintain your resources here,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, intend your resource, but it's kind of pretty weird to think about it in this deck list because you don't want to actually bounce your front row. Like if you have multiple level 2s, right?
Yes.
You don't want to bounce them, but maybe you can actually bounce like the Cleveland, so you can use it again because usually your Cleveland on back row, right?
Mhm. Or
Yeah.
maybe you just bounce the level 0 from your back row. Anything it drop starts, uh, or maybe your unicorn, or maybe your
Yeah.
Luffy. Yes, anything.
Mm. Yeah, I guess yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. And they use the one that beside Belfast, the 4 copy. I think it's the effect is discard one character, you can summon one cost 0, right? So you can
Cost 0.
you can actually summon Belfast. So you can from there on you have 2 attackers. Actually,
I see where
actually
this is going.
interesting because
I
yeah,
see.
you can
It's
actually
basically,
discard like
yeah,
your higher level card. Yeah,
it's
you
basically
can discard
looks,
your higher level card.
yeah, it's guarantees your level 1 attackers with just one card, which is the level
I
1, the
see.
blue one, this one. So basically you just
Yes.
discard one and call Belfast, right? And for the next turn, while your opponent attacking, you just bounce them back, and you just always have level 1 attackers from there.
Ah, that's actually true. If you don't trigger your standby or you don't have it in hand, you
Mm.
can just use 2 of them as a attacker.
Yes, it's
So
pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah, it's actually quite good idea, and it's actually enables yellow on the deck. I can see the yellow card, and I think for the level 3 they use the experience 8 ones, right? The rune and drake on the
Yeah.
left, on the top right. I think it's quite interesting that they didn't use any other synergies. Well, I guess because it's standby where they use the graph, right? The graph
Yeah.
actually.
You don't really need finishers here as a climax synergy. I mean, the grab spray actually as your level 2 and level 3 synergy. Like kicking your opponent to the top deck means you get one extra damage there if they don't cancel at 2 or 3.
Yeah. Can we actually go back and see the decklist before? I want to see the level 3s.
I think
Yeah. Yeah, the level 3 is actually quite similar, right? It's the experience 8 ones. This
yes.
one actually runs the rune 2 and the level 3 red, besides the graph, and the difference here is on the left they use the level 3 blue. What's the effect on that one, Erickson?
It's a restand. It's just restand. At the end of the attack, can pay its cost, then
Uh
you can attack.
you don't need climate energy on that one too.
Yes, but it needs to be placed or from hand to the field to actually do the restand part.
Mm.
Mm. And if I remember correctly, it's also experience, right?
The experience is just for the power, the extra, the second effect.
Ah,
It gains power if you have experience on attack. It's
so
kind
I
of
guess
nice in the standby.
so they're thinking about multiple attacks on level 3 and for the okay. So
Mm.
yeah, the standby ones they just use the for the 2 decks they use the level 2 and the level 3, yeah.
Yeah,
For
it's
the
just,
synergy,
yep.
yeah. I guess we can
Yeah,
check the
yeah, let's move
let's move
on.
on to the next decks. Yeah. So I guess this is the more interesting deck. I think it's like a mono green one.
Yes, eight bar. Yes, 8 bars.
So where this deck really runs the level 0 synergy and the level 3 synergy.
Wait, does not have any level 1 synergy. No.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
I think.
pretty sure it doesn't run
Yes.
level 1 synergy, so it's pretty interesting. I guess it's because the Taiho is actually I don't really remember. I think it's bounce 1. Sorry. When you put the climax to play, you can bounce
Both
herself
her.
to hand, and you put one card from your waiting room to stock. Right? Sorry, put one character from your waiting room to stock. So when you do that, you actually get like the extra stock that you can use. So
Well,
yeah,
+1. It's plus
yeah,
one.
it's basically +1 like any other level 1 synergy. So if you actually put 2 of the Taihos on the back row, yeah, it's you get like 5 stocks on. You can get like 5 stocks on turn 2.
Well, yes. But run some of the off like the level 0 and the level 1.
Oh yeah, I think the level 0 and the level 1 for the mono green here is pretty unique. They use the paired ones like the Shokaku and Zuikaku one for the level 2.
Ah,
But here they didn't use the Shokaku Zuikaku and they used the level 0 where I think the one where the Nekomimi one, yeah, that one, yeah, it's vanilla 3000. And the right one, they use the when it's come to play, you can discard one character or one card. I don't remember. You can summon the vanilla one, the 3000, and
It summons the vanilla.
yeah, and the
That's
red
it.
one actually gives effect, right? It makes the both of them into 3500 red, if I remember.
And it does give her, I think, soul.
Oh, it,
Plus one.
oh, the right one's plus one soul to the left one, so you
Yes.
actually get 2 soul attacker on level 0. And the level 1, they actually bring the paired one to the ninja like one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess it's the effect is not pay one, right? They can summon each other, so it's like basically like a Sora on Hololive, where you if you summon them, you can if you summon Sora, you can pay one, but Sora actually summons herself. For this one, if you summon the right one, you pay one. You search your deck for the left one instead, and vice versa. If you summon the left one, you pay one. You summon the right one. And I think they use this because if you have both of them on the field, it's actually 7k power on both turns. So it's really hard for a level 1 that really does not synergy. And most of the synergy now is you need to reverse your opponent, right? So it's kind of pretty hard to be reversed, in my opinion.
Well, especially against some of the standby deck, you can't really reverse them up most of the time.
Mm. And for the level 3 effect, I think it's the finisher one, right?
Yes,
The top
Shinano.
left one, yeah. It's actually quite similar to Mother Rosario effect, right? Where you on attack you actually mill. The Mother Rosario one is mill 11. For this one is, I think for a
Mill 9.
cheaper, yeah, mill 9, but it's for a cheaper cost, right? I think on attack
What?
discard one, yeah.
No, this one actually discard 2. What
Oh,
does
this
must?
discard two. Well,
Yes.
it's actually still cheaper because of the Mother Rosario effect is like pay 2 discard 2, so it's like
Ah,
four cards instead of 2 cards cost. If you compare, but yeah, Mother Rosario is mill 11 and this one is mill 9, and for its climax that you mill, you actually shoot one. So if you mill 4 climaxes, you can shoot one 4 times. So yeah, it's pretty good.
pretty good when the mill works out.
Yeah. And for the level 3 on the right one, the from the right of the finisher, I think it's
Early play.
dynasty, right? Yeah, early
Yes.
play. Yeah, we call it early play. Yeah. When you have full field, actually for cheap girls, the card has -1 level, so it's on 11. You can put it down, and it's just a 2 cost healer. So yeah, it's really good. And I think it has the power effect, right?
It has global 2K. When you put her in the middle,
Oh,
the really middle part, center state.
okay. Yeah, the center stage.
Yes, it's global 2K to all of your basically green cards.
Oh, for
Uh,
the green ones, the Sakura Empire one. Yeah.
yes,
Mm.
on but it just works on your own turn. On the
Ah,
opponent turn, well,
oh yeah,
there
and
isn't any power.
the base power is like 9k. So if you put it on the center stage, it's 11k. Yeah, I guess a standard early play 11k attacker.
Yes,
But
pretty good.
yeah, but you actually can put it down for
Condition,
yeah,
condition.
for the condition. I think it's for the early play condition, it's pretty good because most of the before set early play is like if you have 2 or less climaxes, it's sometimes you can actually put down those sets if you actually use the newer set that uses when the condition is when you have 4 other characters on the field, it's actually more flexible that way. So yeah, the card itself is really, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really good.
I see. So how about we see another
All right.
just to compare, of course.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, we can actually check the other deck list. So here we have another 8-bar decks,
Yes,
where
another one.
yeah, but it actually does not bring most of the level zeros and level one that we see on the deck list before.
Right.
And they
Oh,
actually bring Cliff Flood again here.
ah,
The one on
very
the
key
top
one.
left, yeah, the Ricky, I guess. Because yeah, Ricky is just being Ricky. It's just
Yes.
a really good card on every set. And there's also a unicorn here instead of top, I guess because level one synergy.
Well, you don't need the hero if you don't bring her climax, don't it?
Yeah, that's true. The level one synergy here is Shimakaze, that is the similar one to the counterpart of the Cheap Girl set, the Kantai collection.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually pretty similar one too, where the Shimakaze on the Kantai collection is where also a climax combo level one where you reverse your opponent, you can search one. For the Shimakaze and the Azur Lane set, it's actually the better Shimakaze here, where after you attack, if your opponent is reversed or if the slot
Mm,
is empty, you actually search one. So if Shimakaze actually can't reverse anything, you don't search, right? For this one, if you attack and you have your opponent empty slot, you still search. It's pretty good
and
compared
better.
to compared to the part of the Shimakaze before. Yeah. And they also still bring the level 3 finisher here, the one that mills 9, and the Nagato on the left side. And I see a very interesting card there, the beside
Yellow one.
the Nagato.
The yellow
It's
one.
the yellow one, yeah.
Yes. Shield name Perseus.
Oh, so it's Perseus, and the other one is the I think it's also an early play card one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the
Uh. Oh wait, is it? Oh wait. Yes.
So the Perseus one is another healer for the deck, right? And it's also kind of like a finisher. So the deck actually runs multiple finisher on the deck for
Mm-hmm.
the level 3 synergies. It's on attack mill 9, and Perseus is I think pay 2, discard 2,
Tap
and
that card
tap the shoot 2 times, right?
and heal one. So it does trigger on your I think beginning of the attack phase. You pay
Mm,
2, discard 2, tap herself, and shoot 2 twice,
mm.
then
So
heal one.
it's actually one of the unique traits from I think Lovely Nijigasaki, right? Where they use the level 3. I think they
Ah, I
call it
see. Yes,
Kanata, right?
Kanata. Yes.
Where they actually don't attack and they have the effect to shoot your opponent. So yeah, it's I think it's pretty similar. So that's another approach from the player to use the two kinds of finisher.
I see. What kind of amazed me that both of the build runs this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
Oh, that's a pretty
interesting.
good one.
Yes,
Yes.
I believe the
Well,
effect
yeah.
is when you trigger bar while she's on the
Yes.
field, you discard one and you top up two from top of the deck. So it's basically you change, you
Mm-hmm.
convert bar into like a treasure, right?
Yes. Not yes. You get +1 stock from
Mm.
if you do actually discard, of course. You can get +1 stock and 3 mil if you don't stock up your climaxes. Of course.
Wait, so it's actually when you trigger bar, you discard. You can discard one to stock up one.
No, stock up 2.
Oh, stock up two. So it's like one attack, you get 3 stocks. So it's
Yep,
yeah,
it's really good, yeah.
it's really good. Yeah, it's for the. I mean, for
For
the resource part, it's good, but you actually stock up from the deck, right?
Oh,
yep,
yeah, you
Yeah,
can stock up your climax, and
yeah,
it just happens.
yeah. But yeah, for the. I mean, for the resource counterpart, is really good. Yeah, you can actually gets by it by the just by the resource.
yep,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, so the next deck here is the 8 punch deck. Here, the New Jersey deck we call it because they actually run most of the cards that is
Resonance.
what do you call it?
Resonance.
Resonance. Yeah, resonance, where you actually refill New Jersey from your hand, and you activate most of the cards' ability. So if you actually have New Jersey, you don't activate most of their effects. But yeah, they actually have I think most of them are effects, power effect, right? So they have like for the level one it's like 6,500 on opponent's turn, and level three is early play, the blue one. It's I think the power is 11.5, so it's actually higher than Nagato in this case.
It lasts until the altar. So it is
Oh, it's
like
actually better than Nagato
yes,
because Nagato
yes.
is only on your turn, and this card is on until your opponent's end turn. So yeah, it's actually better power wise, but the early play here doesn't heal. So I guess you actually rely kind of relying on cancel for the early game because
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
we can
it's not bad. It's a 2-1 that have 11.5 power.
yeah. Sorry, actually you say 2-1. What's the come in play effect? I don't remember.
It's a
I think
draw
it's
2, discard 2, and stock up 1 from the top of the deck.
so you actually when you put this down you get one stock because you oh yeah right. So it's pay two stock up one. Oh yeah, so it's one cost, yeah.
Yep, correct.
Yes.
Yeah, based one cost. And actually you're drawing and you actually got another one of them, you can actually just put them down.
Hmm?
That's actually really good.
Well, you can put multiple on it and wait your opponent to answer them. They can.
Yeah, the power is actually pretty high too. Yeah, can we actually so I guess I think the for the next slide we actually I actually put another similar one. So this deck is actually running New Jersey too.
Yes.
But for the interesting part is they are actually running green here. So the green I think it's mainly for the Nagato
Mm.
because yeah the early play Nagato like I mentioned before it's actually heals, and some some player actually value heal on early game as a really good card.
When
But
speaking of greens, I think the synergy here, the bar one, of course, the level one gold bar, is bet on its own that to compare them to the blue one.
ah
Like this one mill force and the blue one only mill two cards. So in terms of milling your deck, I think the gold bar one is should be better,
I guess.
and that should be the reason that this person bringing Ayanami, the level one synergy,
Mhm.
and the top one is still the same. I could see New Jersey and the level three replay and other blue card that resonates with New Jersey. I think it's
Mm.
kind of similar deck, just bring green. You know,
Yeah, the green I think yeah just to bring the level one and the level three, right?
indeed.
Yeah, for the card. And I actually still see the from this deck list and the before we can actually see Cleveland.
Yep.
Yeah,
Another Cleveland.
Yes.
yeah, because Ricky Fixer, right?
Well,
Okay.
I do see another Lavi here too.
Oh,
Oh
this
yeah,
one.
on the right part. Love
Mhm.
yes, the
More Lavi.
Atsuki one. Yeah, it's actually really good. So yeah, I guess that's the 8 deck list. Actually, did we actually pass it? No, the we 6 deck list, right? The standbys, two 8 bars, and the two New Jersey deck, right? And this is the 7th deck list that I actually saw, the 8 choice one. So they use the level one Belfast here, like the second deck list that saw, but they bring the synergy. And
Mhm.
level 3, I think this one is quite good if you actually compare it to New Jersey. I think it's called Cheshire, right?
Desire
Yeah,
on climax play. you mill one of your deck and you shot to your opponent equals to the level of the mill one plus one. So if you mill level one, it's basically shot.
So it's shot too. If you compare it to New Jersey, because it's similar, right? New Jersey is pay one shoot. So if you compare it to New Jersey and Cheshire is actually free.
But this one is kind of random. You can't know what your mill going to be like. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
that's true, that's true.
in terms of consistency, New Jersey should be better. But in terms of resources, this yellow one, Cheshire should be better in terms
Yeah,
of resource.
yeah. The shot is kind of random, right? From 0 to 3, so you shoot 1 to 4. Yeah. And yeah, for the decklist here, we can see that it actually still runs Cleveland on the bottom right.
I think it will be just the staple for Azur Lane
Yeah,
in the
the
long run.
staple for Azur Lane.
In the
And
long run,
yeah, and the upper right we can see Unicorn too. The brainstorm that can life steal.
Yeah,
It's actually really
quite
good.
funny how the player puts the unicorn on the level 3 section there because
Yeah, for the decklist.
yeah, yeah, because
well, you could see that as a level 3 because well, you do start using her pay 3 at the end of the game because of it.
yep,
Yeah, to
correct.
show that extra attack is actually really valuable in this game.
Yes. Well, if your opponent somehow stands at 3-6 or 2-6 and you want her they to level up, well, just pay it. Just pay it.
Yeah, that's
It's kind
actually
of
true.
yes.
When you actually when you see your opponent like on the 1-6 or 2-6, you can just pay 3, discard 1, and actually ruins their compression. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't actually think of that. That's really good, huh?
Well, the fact that you can use unicorn effect from the very start of the game to the very late stage of the game is just valuable. It's more valuable than of the level.
I can actually the other decks, the green one before and the blue one where they actually didn't bring unicorn. I think they should bring unicorn too because the effect is actually really good when you think about it. Yeah,
Just bringing one should not be hard. I
yeah,
guess.
it's like, yeah, and it's also brainstorm, so never really go wrong if you bring 1 or 2.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, from here on, I think we can actually draw some of the conclusion from the deck list, right?
You should.
Yeah, for the this this card, the Cleveland, it's actually like the very staples of the deck because the Ricky effect is you put one from waiting room to your clock. That means it actually
Color fixer.
yeah,
It
the
fix
fix
your, like I said before, it fix your experience, it fix your color, and just set up your room at your early level or
yeah.
level 1.
Yeah, early level, and the top deck check effect is actually really good. Yeah,
Yes, more information.
yeah, if you compare it to the like the Project Sekai Ricky Fixer or I think the Dead Life have one too.
Yeah,
They actually just level 0 that has 2k power but doesn't have the secondary effect,
yeah, same
and
as
they still bring it anyway.
yeah, it's same as Project Sekai one.
Yeah, I mean they actually just bring them anyway because even without the secondary effect, this card has the secondary effect of taking your top deck. So yeah, this is a pretty good card to actually use. Like maybe every Azur Lane deck should bring 4 of this.
I agree.
I do agree on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
What's the next one? Ah, of course.
yeah, this one,
Can't run from this.
the unicorn we mentioned before. It is a brainstorm. A Salvage brainstorm, right? You can actually get most of the when mid game to late game. You actually have lots of cards in your waiting room. So Salvage is usually better than Search brainstorm. And
Well, in most cases, I do agree.
And the secondary effect is just I think borderline kind of broken. You can actually shoot one.
Life steal.
yeah, the lifesteal really good.
I mean, who puts finisher on brainstorm, right?
Yeah, I think most of the brainstorm are like just giving 500 power or
Yes, yes.
1000 power. This one actually shoots. What the hell?
Yeah, it's
Don't
Yeah,
forget it heals.
yeah, it's
It
yeah,
also serves as healer.
yeah, it's
yeah,
basically two in one.
yeah,
It serves
Yes,
as
2 in 1.
finisher and
Uh,
healer also, and also a engine for salvaging your card backs by brainstorming.
yeah.
yes.
This is a really good card.
Yep.
And yeah, for the third card, I think it's yeah, this one, the Luffy, it is really good if you compare it to the anniversary Kirito, the Sword Art Online one. It's actually the same Akatsuki. Uh, the Kirito one is actually seeing a quiet rise up on the decklist nowadays because it actually, when you put it down, it's a 3k attacker, and Akatsuki is Cry 4 and one, but anniversary card, right? So it's
Yes.
kind of better, but I think Luffy actually outdated by the power, right? So this one is actually 3-5 instead of 3k.
Well, however, Luffy cannot pick any of your level 0 reveal. If the one you said before, the one can pick level 0 as long as
Yeah,
anniversary.
that is true. I guess that's why we only see most of the standby decks using four Luffy because it is better on the standby and not on the other decks. Yeah, we only see like the other decks using only 2 or 3 copies of it. But yeah, they still
Yes.
bring it because it's kind of like you call it sorry, discard one mill 4.
Yeah,
Or
I
mill 4.
consider this card as consistency card.
Yes, a free meal.
Yep.
Basically free meal.
Mhm.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm.
All right. Next up, we have the last one. This is the early play.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I got. Oh,
the Nagato.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I said before, this card is actually the only early play that has the condition of 4 or less in Azur Lane. So I count it here as the popular one because it actually heals. the actually the I mean the only early play that heals in this set.
yes.
I
Yeah,
If you
see.
do actually want to have early play that heals, you must bring the green part of the Azur Lane just for
yeah.
the sake of
Just for
bringing
the
that.
sake of healing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
if you will.
healing is in level 2 is actually good in some way. It can extend
Yeah,
your game and your
yeah. It
timing.
actually extends the game. Yeah, most of the winner deck usually use the early play that actually heals. Like I guess the Sword Art Online one, they use level 3 Asuna or Kirito and Yu
Yeah.
where the condition is pretty similar. When you have 4 other characters, it's -1 level. So yeah, that the early play that heals, and other condition is you need to have the easier
Four.
condition than 2 or less climax. Yeah. So I count it.
Flexible is
Yeah.
the I think is the key here.
Yeah.
You need to be flexible throughout
The
your
key
game.
point is yeah, the flexible one. Yeah. This card is really flexible, and you can just actually bring 4 of them and doesn't bring any green, and you can put it for the experience, and you already have green on level 2. So yeah, it's actually really good.
Well, remember we do have the Cleveland, so we can just put one of your Nagato in level 1. So
Yeah.
in the early level 2 you will get your green.
It's really not that hard if you actually just think about it. This deck
Yes.
has a really flexible way to play. Uh, and we actually the Weiss RT that I look around for the deck list, right? They have lots of deck lists for the Azur Lane, and most of them, yeah, I guess most of them are standbys, but the bars, the New Jersey deck, and the choice is also a viable deck to use too. So it's not just like the other decks usually, like Sword Art Online. Uh, Most of the decks now, if you see, are just usually one or two similar deck lists. So not much of a variance.
Diversity.
Yeah,
That's
not really much of diversity. Yeah. For Azur Lane, I think it's a very diverse set. It's a really good set if you want to buy a playset of it. So you can actually just change around. But don't forget, you need to use 4 Cleveland for it to make the deck really stable because it's a Ricky fixer. Yeah, I think it's a overall a good set.
well, for the most part, I also love the art set. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely agree.
for the art, yeah, it's actually from the game, not from the anime. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah. The usually the game art is better than the anime, right?
So there might be a chance where Azur Lane Set 2 is coming from based on the anime.
Oh.
Oh
I
yeah,
think I do, and you can also take part of the resources from the game also. The
yeah.
this set actually does not use all the resources available right now.
Mm.
So
Oh,
if they really want to make a second set out of the game, I think they could
It's possible, yeah.
use. Yeah, it's possible.
mm, right, right. It's actually for today. It's the 6th of January. For the 9th, maybe 9th January, there's a new title announcement set, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, we can maybe expect Azur Lane 2 early this year.
I don't
I
think
don't
so,
think
really.
so. I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think
It's
so.
too
uh,
fast
It's just
to announce
it's
the
too
second
fast,
set.
and the set is really a very new,
yeah, yeah.
very new addition to
Mm,
our meta game. So, well, I can expect it to be in the schedule for
yeah.
next year or next
Oh yeah,
year and a
yeah,
half, I think. But I don't
yeah. I
think
guess
it will
not
be
not on
in
the
this
early
year.
this year, yeah, because this
Yes,
set
yes, yes.
actually released on Christmas, right? Around Christmas, 23rd December.
Hmm.
So yeah, maybe
Yes.
not that early.
Mhm.
All right. Conclusion wise, yeah, I think the sets are really reliant on experience, which is unique compared to the other sets. That way, the decks probably, or maybe all of the archetypes, runs a lots of level 3 just for the experience. And yeah, we do
Yeah.
see uh, lots of deck lists that tops at JP environment, and I do think the deck is still developing currently, and yeah, we'll see if these sets will be one of the best deck in JP environment. We'll see. All right, that wraps up our discussion for Azur Lane set review. As always, thanks for watching and see you on the next video.